Welcome back. Again, still busy with this. Just dive straight into it. We have still not managed to get this thing running. I've had a couple of people here now having a look at it and everybody scratching their head. I know it should be so simple. Grounds, ignition live, main live, harness in, all the parts in, and it should run, not a problem. Here's the score, right? This is where we're at. I have tried 3 independent looms, 3 independent ECUs, 3 independent fuel pump relays. I have tried 3 independent coils. I'm getting, when I crank it, I'm getting the fuel pump pulses, so I know I'm getting signal from the crankshaft position sensor, even though I've tried 2 different crankshaft position sensors, genuine Bosch ones, brand new out the box. I know I'm getting signal there because when I crank it, if I test at the plug, I do actually get a signal there, although not quite enough signal there. I'm short of a couple of volts, which is I'll come to that in a second. I know that the coil side of it's all alright and the plug side of it's all alright, because when I ground out terminal 1 in the plug with the harness energized, I can create a spark at the spark plugs. So I'm happy that from that ECU plug all the way through the coil, right the way down to the plugs, that side of it's good. So signal from the crank position sensor should be, I'm told, 2.5 volts. I'm getting 0.25 volts. Now I think this could be the issue, but I'm not sure. Could be something else at play stopping it from doing it. So effectively, just to sum up, this ECU is getting a signal in. If I give it a signal out, I can get a signal out, not the correct signal because I'm forcing the signal, I'm manually stimulating it. Hey! One of 2 things. Either 1, the ECU is toast. 3 separate ECUs, not convinced. 2, there's something else at play telling the ECU to cut the spark, kill the spark dead. Don't know what that is. Both ECUs, I'm assured, are non-immobilized ECUs. I've got an FP ECU here, complete with match and loom, and the other ECUs, the other 2 that I've got, are GQ ECUs with match and looms. I am at my wit's end now. I'll be honest, I don't know where to go, hence why I'm stopping doing this now. Just putting a pin in it. I'm going to carry on with work on the rest of the car just until I either have a brain fart and work out what's going on, or until I've run out of jobs on the car and I've got no choice but to come back to this. But at least then the car will be moved on. I've created content for you guys, but the car will be moved on. More importantly of all, I'll be a little bit closer to my goal, because every little tiny step I make is 1 step closer to the goal. So if any of you guys have any ideas out there, drop us a message. If you need to hear the details in full, drop us a message. I can go through it all with you. I didn't want any of this, oh, have you tried a crank sensor, have you tried this, have you tried that? Facebook mechanics aren't any good to me. I've had a couple of guys who do know what they're doing, as I say, have a look at it, and they're scratching their heads a little bit as well. So yeah, see where we'll go to from there. Let's get cracked on and get something else done then. Right. So as you can see, taped all the loom up. The loom looks a million times better now. I'll give you a closer look. There's the loom there. If you're on my social medias, you'll see. If you're on my social medias, you'll see what I'm doing as I do it live, sort of thing. Well, not live, but you know, you'll sort of be a bit more up to date what's going on. These headlight wires are a little bit on the rough side, a little bit rough on the rough and scabby side. So what I'm going to do, I'm thinking, is just cut them off. What I was going to do is put a little waterproof connector, or a little six-wire waterproof connector to house the indicator, side lights and headlight bulbs, all in their own little, effectively little mini loom. So if the time ever comes and I want to put the twin headlights back in, all I need to do is just swap out the mini loom, and I can rewire different, configure different headlights in. Because who knows, you know, might well go back to the old original front on this end yet. We don't know, but yeah, it was the best solution to solve there, because obviously over the years they've been cut back. They probably would wire in where they are now, but I would worry they'd be a little bit on the tight side, because I think they'll be a little bit shorter than what they are. Rather than joining little pieces of wire in, I would sooner just make up a new little piece of loom. But other than that, absolutely over the moon with this loom. I've decluttered it. I've took out all the crap that I've put in over the years, just to get things working. Also, I've made repairs to all my previous bodged up repairs. I'm getting a load of wiring out of it. I managed to scrap all of that from the harness because it wasn't needed. And I think back in the day I must have had shares in an insulating tape company or something, because the amount of insulating tape I've pulled off is nobody's business. On the subject of tape, I know I'm probably late to the game in this, but Tessa tape. This wiring loom tape. If you've never used it before, my God, it's a game changer. The loom looks literally factory fresh for a 20-odd year old loom. That would easily pass now as a factory fresh loom, you know. Absolutely love the stuff, so I can't wait. So I'm going to wrap the rest of the loom right the way through with it. Definitely behind the dashboard, because behind the dashboard I'll insert a picture here. Definitely in behind the dashboard needs doing, because it's a little bit wiry and woolly. So that's where we are. Beyond this, we're going to just plod on. I think possibly move on to something else now, just to keep it moving, because I've got a few parts I'm waiting to come in this week. Soon as they're in, I can get cracked on and get some quite big jobs done. There will be changes going on in this over the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for more updates. Break it up from the wiring a little bit, because you know, like to keep things moving. I've had this injection fuel tank sat around now for about 10 years, waiting to be done. I'm thinking it's not in bad condition at all, but I want to just give it a little wire wheel up and just clean it up before I put it back on, change all the pipework and stuff. I wanted to pull the sender out, which you've seen, which was a bit of a nightmare. Purely to see what the state of it was like inside. So it was all gummed up and gunked up inside. Check out Chin's motorsport video for the diesel Sierra they've just done. You'll see what I'm on about sludge sitting in the tank when tanks have sat for a while. So yeah, so I want to deal with that. Managed to get it out. I was a bit worried I was going to struggle with it, to be fair, but kind of pleased I've took it out, because it looks a little bit nasty. But while it's out, I'll plug the wire in, just make sure that the level works and the light works, make sure it's all good, because I know how hard they are to get your hands on. So I'll give this a quick blast up with a wire wheel, and I'll probably end up giving it a coat with, I'm guessing, probably some kind of hammerite for now. When the build comes to get done eventually, more than likely end up getting it powder coated, or, well, long and short of it is this tank eventually is going to end up going into this one on the rack. It's going to end up going into that one eventually, because obviously glued over. The wide body one's getting the K20 in, so I'll possibly, if I'm putting the K20 in the back, I'll be fitting it, how to fit a custom tank anyway, because obviously the floor will be coming out. So there we are, yeah. I'll just quickly get this blasted up and get it painted, we'll see how far we'll get on with it. And there we have it. It's about all I've got for you for today. What you guys don't necessarily see on the camera here is there's a lot of stuff I'm still doing behind the scenes on it, just stupid little things, but every little step is a step closer towards getting this thing on the road again. So, you know, happy with that. If you subscribed or liked my social medias and that, you would get the info, as it should do. It has kind of put a bit of a damp squid on it, as it were, you know. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you very soon with the next update. See you next time.